Mic check.
What's up? Tonight's topic. Hypergamy. Yeah.
What's up, Blueprint family? And if you all didn't know, today is the Godfather's birthday. Happy heavenly birthday to the Godfather Kevin Samuels. By all means, he was an inspiration. If you all have not found that out already, he was an inspiration or is an inspiration in me and my wife's life as far as helping relationships and keeping families together and uplifting our community. So we want to say happy heavenly birthday to the Godfather Kevin Samuels. And like my wife said, we have an interesting topic for you all tonight. Hypergamy. What does that mean? What we're saying is that um, men are the providers, but also too women have the right to choose, and they should be choosing the best man that they possibly can. Now, contrary to what a lot of people believe, men choose to marry. And of course, women have to compete for the type of man that they want. Now, what does that mean? That means that if a man has multiple options, he's going to pick the best one at the end of the day when it comes down to marriage. So, let's go ahead and dive into that. Honey, did you want to
Yeah.
add some insight?
I don't know. Let's just see about this conversation.
What's the definition of hypergamy?
Yes, hypergamy is basically a means of upward social mobility for women.
Right.
To sum it up, like it's just now, of course, within the modern dating scene, I guess it's more like really trying to level up in your life, and by getting a man that has more than you now more than ever, because I guess luxury lifestyles are desired more than ever, because it's so out there because of social media.
Right. And I mean, here's a kicker. The thing is, women, if you seem, or if you feel as if, or not feel, if you know that you are a high value woman, as far as your options, and you have a lot to give, why do you settle for something less?
Yeah.
In your situation? Now, what I'm saying is this: if you are a young, fit female with a low body count, why would you pull a situation, for instance, like Sierra when she dated Future? Why would you settle yourself for Pookie and Ray Ray
Right.
for a man with 5 kids and you don't have any yourself? Why are these young modern women settling for men who cannot be their providers, men who cannot be their protectors? Now, some may say that women are interested in these type of guys, one, because they exude confidence. You can see it all around them.
Mm-hmm.
You know that women love these guys. You may see them with other women as well. And that is probably what makes them very attractive to you in your eye.
Yeah.
You only see the outside part of what this guy is all about.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the major important things you all may ignore, as far as, will he protect me? Will he provide for me? Those are the qualities that those young women need to be looking for in a man. Now, there's also a dangerous game that you may play, women, if you may outvalue the market. And what I mean by that, we will more than likely elaborate on that later. But that's a dangerous game because the rules change for you. The simpler in my mind, the better. Overall, women Do you want to get married? Are you marriage fit? Those women who are mostly marriage fit and are young, those women hold a higher value than older women, older career women. In some sense, in the eyes of a man, if you're trying to get a high value man. Whoops, I may have stepped on some toes by saying that, but that's just the reality of the situation. A high value man is normally not looking for a high value woman.
Right.
I'm sorry, I may have said that before, but to elaborate on the situation, um, Oprah has Stedman. You know, she had to choose. Damn, nobody knows who Stedman is. Who is Stedman? But everyone knows who Oprah is. And here's the thing: we're going to talk about hypogamy too later on this week. But for tonight, we're talking about hypergamy and why women should be practicing. Why women should be hypergamous. It is in the best interest of a woman to be hypergamous. The woman needs to go after and compete for the best suitor in order to have a relationship that will last. If you feel as if you deserve more, why not go out and compete for more? In the long run, you're going to be happy, right? It's not always about money. No, it's not.
No.
A hypergamy situation and dealing with women, women, you're looking for that person who can elevate your status. You're looking for that man who can take you out of the projects and put you into a house on the hills. It can be done. It can be done. Don't limit yourself, young women. Please don't limit yourself. Don't fall into that trap of the media, of what social media is telling you about what type of man to get, and it being a guy with, gold chains and a dope boy that's on the corner who has a lot of women and a lot of children, a lot of baby mamas. That is often glamorized in today's society. Why, I do not know. But for those reasons that I stated earlier, you may see them as, the only alpha male in the society where you live at. You a lot of you all women are raised without fathers, so you don't know what a man who can provide and protect really is supposed to look like. Unfortunately, and you're not going to get that from the dope boy around the corner. This man is more interested in making money and children instead of spending time with you, quality time with you. Just to be honest, he's going to need you when things go bad, trust me, but he's not going to want you when things are going great. So women, being hypergamous means that you're not looking for that dope boy or Pookie or Ray Ray. You're not settling for those guys. You're not giving those guys a time of day. But more so, what you're going to be looking for is a man that can provide. He doesn't necessarily have to be a high value man, but he's able to, if he wanted to, pay for your rent. He has a car that he can drive. He's able to financially provide for you and provide a stable household for you. You feel comfortable enough that you would have children with this man because he's the only guy that you're chasing after, you're competing for, So we're gonna add some more details to that. Honey, you want to add some input?
Yeah, well, mainly just back to the definition of hypergamy, but hypergamy in general is a biological and evolutionary part of a woman to naturally, like you were saying, look for the best mate. And that goes back to like just genes, like,
Genetics.
the tall, dark, and handsome, that goes to that, why women like that, those are good genes, right?
Right.
So stuff like that, like, as well as other qualities in a man that you would look for, like you were saying, for a father-like qualities, things that leadership, that confidence, that, ambition, that drive. I think we'll get into a lot of that. I have actually some great notes in here about that too. So we'll probably get into all of that soon. But yeah, that's a long practice between men and women, the natural game of hypergamy, because men have a natural desire to go out here and get it. Like, that makes y'all feel good, to feel, fulfilled when you complete a task. Men like that. Men, they get a oomph of, I want to say like a boost of testosterone, but it feels good to accomplish something for y'all, like any task, or like even when you get good at a craft, or you harnessing your skills. So if your man is like practicing his own craft, stuff like that, times like that will make him really, happy. And that just shows like a man is driven by the things that he can accomplish. So that makes him naturally a great provider. Testosterone does a awesome boost with that, because it makes you a great provider biologically, a great protector biologically. So if you look at a woman, though, biologically, we're nurturers. So we want to have children. And we also know if we have children, we're probably not going to always be able to go out there and, hunt and stuff. And, so we need a man, of course. That's what you have to, in order to have children, you need a man there. So you want to have that nice relationship where the man can take you in. And, not saying that you're property, I guess women think of it, but in the way, women are looking to
You're an asset.
Yeah.
You're an asset to a man because you are his inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
You're the driving force to keep him going daily. Believe it or not. I mean, for a man, his wife and his children are the reasons why he worked. And why he strives so hard to elevate himself in today's society.
Yeah.
So without that, a lot of men are often stagnant.
Yeah.
And you have to find ways in order to inspire yourself, and nothing more better than that than a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So the topic of the day is hypergamy. And for the viewers that just joined, we appreciate you joining. And we wanted to lay down some basic information and details about why women should be hypergamous,
or naturally are,
yeah, and why real men provide for these women. So what we're doing is that we're trying to give the message that women need to stop settling for men who cannot contribute to their well-being, or they are not suited to support a family and children. And we think back in high school, when the younger girls, they are attracted to the older guys, the juniors and senior athletes, and the jocks and things like that. That is a natural thing, and that is what considered hypergamy. That's what hypergamy is all about. So you see that, and the younger guys are like, darn, why can't I get with her? It's because she doesn't see you as a provider or a protector. That's the bottom line. You're one of her peers. So naturally, a woman is going to look up and try to date up in order to put herself in a better social position. Normally, that is the way that the world turns.
Right.
That is the way that it's supposed to operate.
Right.
Why would a woman date down? We will discuss that later. Now, there are reasons why women date down, but the rules are different. But for average women, mostly women are average. There's a lot of average women out there. Why are you all settling for the bare bottom? Are you all not driven, like I said before, to compete to your best abilities to get a man? And what we mean by competing, being in your feminine. There's a lot of women that out there, they say, They approach men, by saying, "What's up?" Like we saw that video with the girl coming to the guy with the Corvette, and she had a boyfriend of her own. That is a case of hypergamy as well. You know, she just trying to get out of the situation with her current boyfriend. But often at times, what's wrong with the guy that you're with? You may miss that message because you're so jaded in materialism that you think that the guy who has more material things is actually better for you. Often at times that answer is no. And the reason being is because that guy who has it all, and if you're average woman, he's going to pick someone who's above average, especially if he's a high value man. So, with that being said, more than likely you can more than likely date your equal on down. But women, you have to know your worth. That's the thing. Do you know your worth? How many women out here knows their worth and what they can contribute to a man? How many women out there know what a man wants? What a real man wants? Not a boy, not somebody out here who's playing with your heart, or somebody you can't, you know, get in touch with, and you have to track this man down to try to find out why he didn't call you back. We're not talking about those guys. We're talking about high value earners, men who are in the white collar field, or even in this day, blue collar men who can make six figures of their own. You know, so why settle, women? Why are you all settling? You all need to compete for the best man, for the best outcomes. Now, dating websites have put a interesting dynamic to what's going on, and you can see a lot of hypergamy in those between those relationships and people who are on dating websites. If you see these people on your dating websites, women, more than likely, the women are probably talking to about, I'm gonna say about two guys, anywhere between 2 to 3, 4 guys. They have options, but you best believe that the man is more than likely possibly talking to 9 women, 7 to 9 women. He has more women to his disposal than you do. So what does that mean, ladies? You have to compete for this man's time and attention. It just is what it is. If you know that this man is a high earner and he's giving you some interest, then you have to compete, because more than likely he is interested. He has more options. He has a couple of options that he can get at. And then also too, you have to be women. You have to be aware that, um, you know, and then also men as well. You have to be aware that this woman is also talking to someone else. So if you're very interested in this woman, you also have to be show her that you are an extreme provider and a protector. Mm-hmm. If you're really considering wanting to date this woman into marriage. Mm-hmm. So there is a interesting dynamic double standard that goes on here based on the social economic situation of the man, the average man, the average woman, and then also a high value man. Now, women also understand this too. If you're average, more than likely you're not going to get a high value man. That's just the case. That's just a matter of the situation. It's all about you have to look at the what probability instead of the possibility of that happening. The probability of an average woman getting a high value man is very slim, but the probability of her getting a man who is average just like her or less is very likely. But the thing is that you don't give those bare bottom guys at the bottom of the totem pole any time of day. Those guys don't exhibit any qualities other than just laying in bed all day long.
Because the percentage of men who make the babies is like, I don't know the exact numbers, but it's really low. It's like maybe 13%, or maybe I wouldn't give it no more than 20%, but I thought the number was like really low because the rest of it was like married men. Mm-hmm. And then you had your, I guess, men that were divorced or whatever, within that aspect. But yeah, And then you have the single ones. And most of that, but most of the single men don't have any kids.
Right.
So that's great in the sense of there's a lot of men out here that are potentially ready to be great fathers, or great providers that you could go after, not the bottom ones that, I guess consider having the swag or the game
Right.
or the, whatever.
Who have the confidence.
Mhm.
Those guys
Yeah.
who exhibit the confidence, exude
Yeah.
confidence. You can see it dripping from their pores.
Yeah, because
You can smell it on
Yeah,
them.
the alpha mentality. Yeah, for sure.
And Pookie
For
and Ray
sure.
Ray smell like malt liquor and Black and Mild cigarettes and cigars. So you want to stay away from that smell, women. You know, you want a man that smells like frankincense and myrrh or some
Right.
Gaia's gold body butter. That's what you want. If you don't know what that is, go to gaiasgold.com and buy some. It's a great product. But no, but all seriousness, yeah. So we're trying to get men to elevate their status.
Yeah.
Minimize risks. Stop having kids so early.
Mhm.
Stop having children out of wedlock with women that you're not trying to marry.
Mhm.
And women, stop having children with these guys who don't provide or protect or don't do anything with you, for you. If this man isn't paying for your dates, I believe that men should be paying for your dates. Like that video of the woman with the she's laying it all out. Like, if you want to date me, please pay for my babysitter or help me find a babysitter. That is what you want to do. If you're very interested in this woman, you're gonna do everything that you can to try to free up her time.
Mhm.
It's just a natural thing. Men, if you're attracted to that woman, you're gonna show that you're attracted to that woman. Stop gaming females, but also be particular about what you want and choose the right woman for you based on your personality type and your social status and your financial status. That's just the bottom of the line, because what you don't want to do is get a woman that makes you live outside of your means. And what I mean by that, she's gold digging you. All she wants is your money. In order to have her around, you're always spending money. You want her to at least stay. Your wife is going to spend your money anyway. Your kids are going to spend your money anyway. The best thing that they can do is be an inspiration to you and instill confidence in you and love you and stick around and
Be
stay.
trustworthy.
Be trustworthy.
Trustworthy.
Now, in situations hypergamy, let's get into some of these details. This is about halftime now.
Yeah.
And we want to lay down, be more direct in what we're giving you as far as the details. Now, that's my whole spiel about hypergamy now.
Mhm.
Let's go into some greater details about this.
Yeah.
Where should we start?
Well, I think that the first main point was that women will always tend to be more attracted to the man who can provide her with the most security. Comfort is, of course, a huge plus.
Right.
You can make her life comfortable,
Right.
So women are naturally, looking towards that because, like we mentioned before, we want to have children and, and men too. They naturally want to provide. A good man, a good alpha man, a leader wants to provide,
Right.
But you have to allow the space for him to do so. At the same time, with I think hypergamy and that whole sense with women wanting that, they go for the extreme of what's the most I can get, the most bang for my buck. And so they realize that, I should have stayed with this one guy who, had potential to gain resources. I think that's a huge point to look at, because if a man has the potential, he's on the path, and you can see, where you can fit in and how you can help him. And then you see that, he's going to grow. That's like working with him. And sure, it's hypergamy in the sense of, he's going to, be great.
Right.
Like those girls, like you mentioned in high school, those girls who date the top guys because they're just thinking, oh, they're going to be football players or basketball players. Like,
Right.
you got potential, or that's what we think. Really, out in college, you should be looking in like the engineering department, the doctors, if you're trying to dating wise, that's where a lot of women, try to go to date if they're dating on potential.
Right.
College girls.
Right.
Like,
That's if you date on potential. But to be honest with me, I still think you're dating wrong.
yeah.
If you're
That's
still
true.
dating within your peers and you're in college. Because the
Yeah.
thing is because your peers is not going to be able to pay for your college tuition. Your peers are not going to be able to pay for your college loans or debts. I'm just speaking, from truth. The thing is that women, speaking out of hypergamy, if you're in college, age 18 to 23, and you're interested in getting married, more than likely you're going to want a good start. And what I mean about a good start is that you want a man who's already established, has a good line of credit, owns a home with nothing, with no one else in it but him. Maybe have a dog or something like that. But you're really going to want a man who can provide and protect for you. What does that look like? A lot of you young ladies don't want to, admit this, but more than likely, this man is probably 10 years older than you. That's hypergamy.
Yeah.
So y'all young ladies who are in college, you all give up on relationships. You all party so much. You go around sleeping with so many other men. And what happens is that you devalue yourself, and then all of a sudden you're out of the market of trying to get a high value man or finding that provider protector guy, wondering why you're 35 years old with no man.
Right.
You've traded that family for that career. That's what happened to you. And then all of a sudden you realize that, damn, I wanted a family and a relationship. I traded that all for a career, and then you got to look further down the road into retirement. What does that look like? I don't have enough money. We're in a super hyper inflated economy right now, ladies and gentlemen. What are you all going to do when it comes down to retirement, when cost of living right now is eating at that? In order to retire, you need a savings, a retirement fund of some sort of pension, social security. And if you want to make it from 65 to 90 years old or 95, you're going to need a part-time job. There is no such thing as retirement here in the United States. All of that, the American dream, to be honest with you, is gone. It's not like it used to be. Now it's the American hustle. What is your hustle? We are all hustling for retirement. A career is not going to get you there. I'm just being honest with you. This is 2023. Things have changed. We don't live in our mom and daddy's economy no more. We need each other now more than ever, whether you all like to admit it or not.
Right.
So all we're trying to do is help you all to try to find your best probability,
Or the best not yep, best
probability
yeah.
of staying together with somebody that is compatible with you. So we're trying to take out the guest work. So if you listen and you're listening to us, good, because you're going to fare off very well in your life. And if you listen to what we say and you do it, you're going to do great. You have nothing to worry about. But for those people who still want to do what they want to do, go out and party, waste time, waste their money, get with people who don't mean no good for them, do all this stuff, have risky behavior, go out here and sleep with multiple people and all this other crazy stuff, you're going to end up in a bad spot, to be honest with you, wondering what the hell happened to me. Time is short. Things change. Everything is all about time here on earth. So if you don't try to play the odds, look at it that way. Life is a game. Life is a big game. There's different rules for different people. You just need to know what rules apply to you.
Right.
You know, we not all of us are wealthy enough to make our own rules for us. We all of us are not exceptional people. We're average at best. We're average people with average college degrees, working average jobs, doing average things. You're trying to strive for the best and do better than what you've been doing yesterday. That's what life is all about. And then giving back so someone else can get the message and do more, pick up where you left off. That's what it's all about. But yeah, but back on that topic of hypergamy.
Yeah, this is also, like you said, building yourself up. That's why it's important for men to build themselves up before they even get into a relationship.
Right.
It's super important. Like now, I think the dating age in general, or the age for a man to marry, has increased so much to where men are now closer to 30s where they are actually ready to get married. Where previous years, when we looked at the statistics, like men were ready to get married much younger, but of course it didn't require as much. Now we live in a world where, wow, it requires a $200,000 wedding. That's before you get married, or
It doesn't require that.
It doesn't, but those are the expectations of a lot of women. That's wild.
Those are lofty expectations that are not going to get met.
Yeah. And so they pass up all these other good options, good men that.
Yeah, and they hold out. I don't mean to hold you off.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
Cut you off, but that's what, women hold out, waiting on their Prince Charming knight in shining armor.
Or go after just all the bad guys.
Right.
That just gonna pass them around anyway.
Right. And then next thing you know, there's 65 Catwoman. Catwoman is 65 and waiting, just waiting.
Talking about she ready for a good man now.
Right. And it's too late.
I'm ready for my provider male now.
Right. And it's too late. I mean, this is just the fact of the matter. That's what has happened to today's society. These modern women, they didn't consider hypergamy in their younger years, trying to find the best suitor. They stayed and stuck with some boyfriend who couldn't elevate them or help them out. It just is what it is. I told my friends that, when we were in college, those girls that we were messing with were not for us. And they were like, why? Why you say that? Never thought about that. Because we couldn't provide or protect it for them. And we didn't want to. Whatever little bit that we had, we were so selfish because it wasn't enough. All of that was mine, it's not yours. So we carried those relationships that way. That's why, that's what players do. Players aren't rich. They're not. The majority of players, they're not rich. Who the guys who are, their number one thing is to go out here and game women. They're not rich. You're wasting all your time to think about what woman you can sleep with. Rich men don't do that. That's not their part of their agenda on the day of their day. It's about making connections and networking on the next big thing, how to make more money. That's the fact of the matter,
Yeah.
So yeah, but so back to hypergamy, women are attracted to some.
So that if for men, if you don't take the time to build yourself up, then you're stuck with the women at the bottom of the dating pool,
right.
Or no options, or no options, because if you're at the very bottom, then you're talking about hypergamy, which we'll get into tomorrow. But with the women dating down, if you're at the bottom, I'm talking about your pyramid of like 10% of men all the way down to the bottom. Those men don't get the biggest. All they have is their game, like you said, their game,
right.
their
Charisma.
game. That's all they have.
That's
but
all
other than that, they don't get like a lot of women. They're maybe your loner, maybe you're men.
They don't get quality.
Yeah,
they got quantity, but you don't get quality. Right. And the reason being is because they're not nurturing a quality female.
Yeah,
you're spreading yourself so thin to the point you got to spread yourself out with all these females that you trying to spend time with, and you're spreading yourself out so thin that none of these relationships grow to be fruitful about, for any reason at all. Not
Yeah.
realizing that if you were to make a connection with a woman who can be an inspiration to you, who can be a wife, your helpmate, then you have a chance of actually building your career, being a provider and protector, and better off in your retirement years. That's what this is all about. So,
Yeah.
and then, for example, men who are, what are those
Oh, the
characteristics?
characteristics that attract women aside from financial standing for hypergamy. So we kind of touched on this a little bit before, but women are naturally attracted to other masculine qualities of a man that show like leadership ability, confidence, decisiveness, the ability to make decisions quick, of course, being resourceful, uh, hardworking. All those qualities are all great for like men to have and possess that will give them a slight edge in the dating realm as far as if a woman is in search of good qualities to make a husband
Right.
from
So
or
you
to have a husband from
right.
a
And so
husband.
that, I question women. Look at the man that you're with. Look at the man that you're talking to. Do they exhibit these qualities? If
Mm,
not, then why are you dating these men?
yeah.
Why? And if you don't know, then why are you spending time? Why are you consuming your time with these people that you know nothing about?
Yeah.
What is going on here? What does your time look like when a man is with you? What do you all spend your time doing? Is it about spending time elevating each other?
Hmm.
Is it about, marriage? Are you talking about your future goals? Is it
Hmm.
goal driven? Is that relationship with that person goal driven? Because if it's not, then you're wasting your time.
Hmm.
You're wasting your time. If that person doesn't include you into their goals, you're wasting your time. Bottom
Yeah.
line, they're not dating with intention.
Yeah, that's a red flag, like we talked about in our previous videos. Big red
Exactly.
flag because they
So,
don't can't
it,
build with you.
right, exactly. So women, think about those things. Consider yourself. Consider yourself and what value that you have.
Hmm.
Especially if you're a woman who doesn't go out partying, you didn't squander, and you're still young, you're in your 20s, your early 20s.
Hmm.
Consider that. That is your value.
Yeah.
Try to find a husband, not a boyfriend, not somebody who you can just play with at the moment. Make sure that this person is vested in you.
Yeah, because women are ready to be wives, I think, or in the position to be wives much sooner than men are ready to be husbands,
Right,
especially now in this time,
right,
because it requires so much more of a man to, be married or at least to be able to take on a family, just even aside from that, but just providing, a house and, stable income and car and like everything that you need and protect your family, like all these things that you need to have put in place before you take on a wife,
right.
and that's a big responsibility. And it's, no secret, unemployment is high. So that's men and women. So of course that's going to delay marriage
Hmm.
in the sense because men ultimately are the ones that lead that choose that. So
Right. But I mean,
yeah,
there's nothing wrong with delaying marriage, and and,
no, not for
and
men at all.
men,
Yeah.
men. If you want to play the game of hypergamy, you need to elevate yourself, and then
Hmm.
also to delay gratification. I'm talking to the young men out there. The thing is this: you don't have 18 to 25-year-old men. You don't work in a career that can support a family. You know it. Don't fake it. But what
Hmm.
you need to do is network with people in order to elevate yourself in your career and where you need to go to.
Yeah.
Find a mentor or somebody who can instill the details and the secrets within you to get that job that you want.
Mhm.
Nowadays, to be honest with you, all job applications are pretty much online on the internet. And then also too, there's mostly more there are jobs out there which have referral programs. The best way to get that job that you want is to know somebody within that company for them to give you a referral. That's a secret. That's one of those gems that I'm dropping for these younger guys out here, because you have to delay that gratification and build yourself up so that a woman will consider you to be a husband, a candidate for her. Now, I know that men choose marriage, and the reason being is because the man is more than likely has more than one woman that he's courting or dating. That's just the realization of the situation. But women have to understand that and compete. I've said that before. But men, if you want to be get into the game of picking the best wife that you
Mhm.
possibly can, you have to be able to offer everything that she's looking for,
And
everything
maybe even more.
and more, if not.
Yeah.
So you have to be that ultimate provider and protector, because this is the truth. If she's with you and you're not providing what she needs, you don't check all the box, and then she's on this dating website and you know nothing about it, and all of a sudden she's gone because she messed around and found somebody that can provide and protect her.
Yeah.
This day and age is different. It goes beyond just Facebook. They
Yeah.
actually have dating websites and all that stuff that
Yeah.
you can make network connections with
Yeah.
people and things like that. Even LinkedIn.
Yeah.
People are trying to find mates on LinkedIn because they have high paying jobs. They have
Mhm.
and an outstanding resume.
Hashtag show your work.
you know, that's
Show
what you
your
want to
work.
be able to do, man. Your value is based upon your resume, pretty much, and how much money you make. That's just the fact of the matter. That's just the truth about this situation.
And your potential to keep earning income,
Right.
keeping that coming in. Your overall leadership ability, of course.
Right.
And I think in particular too, when a man, like kind of going back to the qualities, when a man is really able to be decisive and take and lead and make decisions for his family on his own, like that independence, that's like really attractive for a woman, because then she can rest in her femininity
Right.
and feel secure and safe that, okay, I know everything is good.
Right.
You have everything already set up, you know.
Right. Another topic I wanted to talk about, this too, are fathers out
Yeah.
there. All the real men, all the real fathers, stand up. Give yourself an applaud. What I wanted to say to you all is this: if you all have daughters, teach them to be hypergamous. Tell them that, honey, it's not all about looks. It's not all about looks. It's all about finding a man who can be a provider and a protector. Your daughter's first love as a male is going to be her father, and then her brothers, because she looks at daddy, and daddy, takes care of her, can lift her up higher than her brothers can, higher than any other person in the house can. And she loves it. She's going to look up to you. So she's going to take that advice. Teach her what a high value man is. Teach her what a provider and a protector is. And that is what she's supposed to be interested in. She wants to be you need to teach her to be interested in how to look and spot these type of men. And then
Mhm.
also teach her the guys to stay away from.
Right.
My goodness. I think we probably don't do that enough in society, is to tell our daughters what type of men that they need to stand clear of and get the hell away from. That's just the reality of the situation, you know. And also too, be honest with her when she gets a certain age. With I say around 15, 16, you need to know that, honey, you're gonna have to compete for a husband out here. It's just and then if you can, fathers, present a husband to her. My
Yes.
God. Don't let her go through this life through trial and error. She doesn't have to do that.
That was the big one. I'm sorry to cut you off, but in other cultures, like India, for example, Hindu cultures, it is really pushed that they want the man to gain a higher social status, to gain up his financial ability and all that other stuff, so that then when he is ready to take on a wife, a family would present, well, first, a family would look at the boxes, do the man check, these boxes, and then present their daughter to the man,
Right.
because the man is able to then is a safe, place to give such a, precious
He's an
little thing.
asset.
Yeah.
He's an asset to the
And bring it
family.
on to right.
Right. That's ultimately that their family and that man is joining. Their families are joining together. So in the
Hmm.
time of need, if they need anything, they can negotiate and trade with each other, barter or whatever the case may be.
Hmm.
If someone needs water, my house, my pipes broke in my house and we need water, can we go to your in-laws,
Yeah.
honey, and ask them for some water or whatever the case may be? Your network, you want
Right.
to build families up to have better networks with each other,
Yeah.
resourcefulness.
Yeah, that's how you keep the money growing within the communities, and like really connecting, like big business or small mom and pop businesses can grow into big businesses
Hmm.
when you bring little money here and there
And they buy
together.
from each other,
Yeah.
businesses, family businesses.
Yeah. It's
you
a
know
great, it could be a really great thing. So there are a lot of pros to hypergamy. Now, I guess we can get into the cons, since we're heading towards the end of the stream, but mainly with the cons being for men, you have to be super vigilant with checking and vetting your woman and who you're dating, and making sure that she's not a gold digger, because it's like a thin line between like natural hypergamy of a woman just trying to see like which is the best mate for her, the best choice for her to have a long lasting relationship with, or am I just using this man for his money, get all I can from him, and then drop him and never talk to him again to move on to the next rich man that I can get all his money from? That's a gold digger. That person has no intentions of having a committed relationship. That woman has no intentions of that. She has full intentions of just taking your money, and it will show. It will show. Unless, and they're often very pretty, because that's what they have to offer. So that would be nice, like, of course, but you would miss a lot of the red flags because of that, because you're so like blinded. We talked about how attraction being a big thing. Women and men, we have to be mindful of the things we're attracted to, because sometimes that can get you out of making the proper decisions, or you just wouldn't even see something being a red flag because you just like what you see in front of you anyway. So
hmm
yeah, you just got to be careful of that aspect and watching. Is she for me, like you mentioned earlier? Is she for me, or is she just want these expensive dates and things I have to offer?
Right. And then also too is the situation of loyalty. So
Yeah.
if these type of women who are gold diggers often bounce from men to men when the well runs dry,
Yeah.
and they don't have any intentions on getting married either. So what happens is, if when they get to a certain age and they want a man, their biological clock is ticking and they want children, it's hard for them to find a man, because one, if they're up in age, mid 30s, early 40s, and they don't have any children, a red flag should go off in the man that she comes across, as to why you don't have any children yet. What happened in your younger years? What did you do? You know, there's an issue of loyalty. How many boyfriends have you been with? What's your body count like? Things like that. Those are things that those men need to be aware of about that woman. It just is what it is. You know, that is where hypergamy for women can be. If you keep trying to trade up on the man that you
Mm-hmm.
not satisfied with, and you with a
Mm-hmm.
provider and protector, and he just maybe don't look as good as you know as a brother across the street.
Or have it yet.
Yeah, or have it all.
That's why we say women doing hypergamy wrong, first off, because that makes no sense. If you find a man and at that moment in time you find him, you deem him worthy of being your husband, worthy of you respecting him and leading,
Moving in with him.
yeah, and he leading your family. If he is of that, then you should be comfortable where you're at. And then if you want more, you help work with your man to get more, so that y'all can then keep moving and elevating together, because you have chosen to do life together. You don't
Right.
just up and jump ship
Right. You don't.
because you fantasize about something else.
Right.
That's
And
craziness. That's not even investing.
right. And women, if you want to know more about those topics and what does that mean and how to get your man motivated, please check out the
Mhm.
wifeconomics.com website. Go ahead and buy the course and take the course. Those courses will instill all of that information in you to help elevate your man, elevate your status, help you to become more marriage fit. It'll instill you with the qualities of a wife in today's modern world. So that's my plug right there for Wife Economics. But yeah, there are some downsides to hypergamy. You know,
Yeah.
the main thing is loyalty. You know,
Mhm.
someone on the outside may see that, man, you was just with some other guy last week. You know, y'all look like y'all had it all. Now you on this yacht with this, millionaire guy, and then all of a sudden, 3 months later, you're back at home by yourself because the millionaire guy knew that you were just for fun, and he didn't take you serious because you were bouncing from man to man. You know, and then also too, ladies, that's how you end up with multiple children. Don't take that advice, that crazy advice today, where they're saying that you need multiple men. Have kids by multiple men. No, don't do that. You're building a you're building a society of kids who don't have fathers, a stable environment, and you're setting those kids up by increasing their incarceration rate.
To be another statistic.
Yep, to
Yeah.
be another statistic in today's society. So don't do that. Stop that. We're trying to break that cycle. Women, you don't have to do that. Stop doing that.
Yeah.
And then men stop contributing to that statistic too by sleeping with all these women with no commitment to marriage.
Right.
It's part of your fault too.
Yeah. Not getting yourself together because if you were focused, you wouldn't be too busy chasing them cheeks.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
what I think about our boys. That would be my thing for them to really focus on themselves first and do, harness your craft and all that, your power within first. And then after you build this wonderful kingdom, then you bring in a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Because like she's not going to just up and jump ship because you've created a nice life for her, or and brought her into it. She should appreciate it. And you'll also have more options to vet to
Right.
really find that good girl out of the group that would, be there for you and be
Right.
your wife. So men got to be careful. And then, of course, men too, making sure to take that time to really build yourself up. Women need to feel like you're going to be dependable. You're not going to lead them to the homeless shelter. Um, but I understand women would see potential and hope that this man wouldn't do that. And maybe men with the responsibilities of being a man, you can fall short. Sometimes I guess some men have issue and they fall short. But again, that's why a woman, if she's comfortable in her role and really understanding her femininity and her ability to inspire and encourage a man, you can really help him to, realize what's deep within him so that he can do great things. You don't have to just up and jump ship, because the guy that you like or you're really interested in isn't doing whatever it is. I just always think of that gas station one, the gas station clip, how, just because her man was in the Honda, whatever, he was probably a hard working man. I mean, I don't know, whatever reason she was dating him, you have to really evaluate your choices too. I mean, you don't just up and just because this man has more,
Right.
jump and be like, oh,
Right. Because realize this too. That man that you trying to get at, and he's more than likely has other female that he's dating. Even though he wanted your number, he just adding you to the roster,
right.
to the Rolodex. We don't use those no more. Rolodex to the black book, to the little black book for all the old school players out there. The black book. I had a black book when I was in elementary school, full of numbers. No, it was just everybody's number, family numbers, people at school, elementary school, their home numbers and things like that. But yeah, I mean, there's just real society. We need to add terms, real terms to what things are going on so that you're aware of it. And then also to see what's going on and make sure that you don't make these mistakes. And then also realize too, to summarize everything, it is a competition out there. It's all about elevating yourselves. Women, don't overprice yourself. Put
Mhm.
yourself over. You're no longer in hypergamy. You're hypogamous.
Which we get into tomorrow.
Right.
That they're like, what the heck is that?
Yep.
Well, it's the flip.
Hypogamy.
Yeah.
So we're going to teach you all that tomorrow and what that means.
Mm-hmm.
And different situations apply to different people. So we're going to teach you more about that. So stay curious about that. And we'll teach you about that because hypogamy is different for women. Those often at times you'll see that those are the exceptional women that we had talked about on day one of this show, talking about exceptional women. It's not always a good thing, but it's just different rules apply. That's all that means. So usually women in hypergamy situations are average women, and they normally date down. And there's nothing wrong with dating down, but what you want to do is elevate that person up so that you can elevate your social economic situation. But you must see the potential in that man in order to elevate that man, and he must want to do the same with you. Now, don't start at the bare bottom. What I mean, bare bottom, stop dating those Poogies and Ray Rays and guys with all these kids and children that can't elevate you, and nor do they want to. They don't work a job that is stable. They may not even have a job. Why are you dealing with these people? Question yourself. Why am I dealing with this person that I'm dealing with that I only see at nighttime? Those booty call hours.
Mhm.
Bottom line, they don't have any intention on being with you. That's it. And then, hypergamy. Talked about young women. More than likely, your husband is probably 10 years older than you. You just don't want to, never thought about it. Sometimes you may not consider that. You might think that's is creepy or whatever the case may be, but I can tell you what, that man is more able to provide and protect for you than your peers, someone your age. I'm just keeping it real with you. So young college girls, if you want a shot at a stability, you may want to look and see if there is a man that is interested in dating you until marriage that's 10 years and over,
Mhm.
that doesn't have children. Especially if he doesn't have children, he's interested in having some one day
Mhm.
with somebody. Why not you? Your value is high because your body count is low. You have a
Young
lot to
too.
offer. You're young. You have the energy to bring up children and chase after them all over the place if you need to. Don't settle. Stop settling, people. Stop settling. Don't do that because ultimately what that does is it leads to divorce
Mhm.
and breakups. That's what it does. So everything that glitters isn't gold.
Yeah, so don't be a gold digger
Right.
either.
And don't be a gold digger either
Yeah.
because you're devaluing yourself because you're not loyal.
Look for those good. Look, be a value digger,
Right.
or
Be a gold digger,
a
not a gold
good,
digger.
yeah, a good person digger. You're looking for the
Right.
good values within that person, and
Right. You're looking at the
that's what you
goals
care.
and want to
Yeah,
establish goals and with your mate.
yeah,
So that is our time.
yeah.
Um, like I said, uh, happy heavenly birthday to the Godfather Kevin Samuels. Hence the black suit and tie. Had to do it.
Hence the whole thing.
You talking about the show, the
Everything.
theme, the inspiration, the motivation. Thank you.
Thank
Um, and we want to say peace. Blueprint family, you all have a good night. Go ahead, like, subscribe. Thank you. Thank
you.
you.